Hey y'all, hey, Erica with Time to Shrink. I keep saying that. I'm contemplating changing the name of my channel to just my name, Erica Yeaman, because I feel like I'm more than just weight loss. But y'all know me as Time to Shrink. I don't want to get lost. I don't know. Anyways, long intro to say we are getting ready to do a what's for dinner. I'm gonna bring you really delicious meals. So let's just jump into it. Number one is gonna be a meatloaf with broccoli tots and a caprese salad. Yum. All right, first meal of the week that we're making is a meatloaf. I'm gonna make individual sized Italian meatloaves. I love to use this meatloaf mix of beef, pork, and veal. That's obviously optional. You could also, for Italian, often I will do ground beef and ground sausage together. And I'm using up some things that I have. This is my pork rind mixture that I use. I call it my keto crumbs. It's pork rinds crushed up with Parmesan cheese and nutritional yeast. It is the best substitution for breadcrumbs. I'm also made up a marinara type sauce with tomato paste and water. That's more like a ketchup than a marinara, sorry. And then I had some marinara that I'm going to use as well. And then just these spices. We're going straight Italian, onion, garlic, an egg to help bind it together. Super easy. We're just going to throw everything in a bowl and then we will have meatloaf here shortly, y'all. Let me show you how I'm doing it. We're also going to make rice broccoli tater tots, or little, I don't know what to call them, y'all. It's not really tater tots. I made them a little bigger than tater tot size. The last thing we're going to do is just throw together a caprese salad. Love a good caprese salad, and this stuff was buy one get one free. Yay for me. Okay, let's put it all together. I usually just get a big bowl out and I do 2 to 3 pounds of beef or meat mixture. I'm doing 2 pounds today, throwing in our marinara sauce and our breadcrumbs. And we're also going to throw in 1 egg and then any kind of spices that you want. This is where you would veer off and make whatever flavor profile you want. We're going Italian, so we're doing a little bit of onion powder. We're going to do a little bit of Italian seasoning, and when you can do however much or little you want. I tend to go on the side of extra flavor. I just love flavor, and I got this new black garlic from Trader Joe's. It's so delicious, so I'm being generous with that too. If you don't love garlic, you can totally leave that out. Then you're just going to get in there with your hands, and you want to combine this until everything is combined well, but you don't want to overwork it. It's almost like a bread dough in that when you're working with ground meat, if you overwork it, it can taste tough, and you don't want that. So you just gently work it until it's all pretty much one, I don't know, I'm blanking on the word, till it's all even. There's the word, y'all, till it's all even. All right, so I get out a parchment lined baking sheet, and you can make this as 1 large meatloaf, or you can make this whatever sizes you want. I do individual sizes often because they thaw faster and they can reheat faster in the, not reheat, bake. If you freeze them, I would freeze them just like this. And if you want to cook them right now, you can either bake them in the oven or you can throw them in the air fryer. I love to freeze these just like this. Flash freeze them and then wrap them individually, and then I will cook them even from frozen in an air fryer, and it works so well, y'all. Today we are going to go ahead and bake them though, because we're going to eat on them this week. This is meal prep for me for during the week. So get these formed exactly how you want them, pop them in the oven and bake them. I usually do about 400 to 425 degrees, y'all, for as long as it takes the internal temperature to get where you need it to be. I think it's like 155. But the last thing that I do is put ketchup on top. I kind of made my own basic ketchup with tomato paste and water and a little bit of sweetener. I think I used a little bit of allulose, and I'm going to cook this on top. I love how it gets nice and crusty, and I love the deliciousness. This is also one of the main reasons I make them individually sized, so you get all of that like in-piece goodness all around it. If you're not an in-piece person, maybe you'd rather make big, large meatloaves or put it in a meatloaf pan, but this is my favorite way to do it. So I'm going to finish painting these all up and throw them in the oven to bake. Okay, we are going to make our broccoli tots. I've made cauliflower tots before, but we're going to use this riced broccoli. 1 egg, I've got another one in case I might need it. I have half a cup of my keto crumbs, and then I've got my seasoning. And for seasoning, we are going to be using salt and pepper, onion powder, garlic, and Italian. And we're just gonna toss all that together and let's see what happens. We've got our big bowl, y'all. No idea if this is gonna work out or not. Okay, riced broccoli going in. If you didn't have riced broccoli, which you can buy riced broccoli pretty prevalently in the frozen section. If you bought it frozen, I would go ahead and cook it according to the package directions. But this is already cooked, so going in with 2 of these are 8.5 ounces each. If you just had fresh regular broccoli or frozen regular broccoli, I would cook it until it's soft and then maybe pulse it in the food processor till we get this consistency. Okay, so I'm going in with a tablespoon of Italian seasoning, half a teaspoon of garlic powder, half a teaspoon of onion powder. You could use actual grated garlic if you wanted to, but I don't have any right now. I'm probably gonna beat that egg. And then this is half a cup. We're gonna use about 1/4 of it to start with because I am just not completely sure, y'all. And then let me just like beat this egg just a little bit. We're also gonna add salt and pepper. Okay, there goes your egg. That was a large egg. Pepper. Again, seasoning to taste. You could make this with Greek seasoning. You could make this with harissa seasoning. You could make this with an Indian spice or a curry spice. Whatever floats your boat. Whatever your heart is telling you to do, y'all. Cook with your heart. I always say cook with your heart. All right, salt. I think I'm gonna get a spoon to start this and see how we get. I'm pretty positive that we're definitely gonna use the other half of this, and we may use more. Oh, and the cheese, we forgot the cheese. Why didn't y'all tell me? Come on, y'all. We gotta work together here. All right, and there's our cheese. This is about half a cup of freshly shredded cheese that I just shredded myself. Well, the food processor shredded it. I use my food processor to shred cheese. I don't know about y'all, but I'm not all about that hand shredding. That just takes forever and is a mess. The one thing when you shred it yourself, it does kind of tend to glop up because there's no like potato starch or anything in there to make it not stick together, but that is okay. We're just gonna kind of break up the bigger pieces. And if we feel like we need to add more cheese or more anything, we will. I can already tell what we want is for this to come together. This is not coming together all that well. So we are going to go in, I think, with some more cheese and with some more breadcrumbs. So I did about another 1/4 of a cup of my keto crumbs, and then this mozzarella cheese was open. So we're just gonna go in with probably another about half a cup of that, and we're going to get this all mixed up. I make my keto crumbs in bulk. I make a ton of them, and then I store them in the freezer, and then they're ready when I am. If that's something that you do like in a meal prep or when you run out, just go ahead and do. It makes putting together meals that use those so easy. Like that meatloaf would have taken so much longer if I had to make the crumbs, right? I'm gonna go ahead and add this other egg too, y'all. Okay, so y'all, here we are. I think everything is sticking really well now. Pretty sure. I was hoping this was gonna be like a prettier green. I think if you steamed your own or did a microwave and then food processed them before they were, while they were still green, this would be a lot prettier, y'all. But we're gonna see, we're gonna try. So we're gonna take a ball. Probably should spray this. I'm taking mini muffin pans. You may be able to do this just on a parchment lined baking sheet and kind of make little balls and press them down. I do not know. Cannot remember last time when I made tots. But I'm just basically making little balls. You also could roll these in the breadcrumbs and fry them. You could roll them in breadcrumbs and fry them in the air fryer would be an idea. You know what, we may do that. Let's do some on this and some in the air fryer and see what we think. I think that's a good idea. We'll see. I can do the experimenting for you. Basically, the big thing is that you just want these all to stick together well, right? Which these seem to be doing just fine. Now my robot vacuum cleaner decided now would be a great time to start, so sorry for the background noise. Okay, we're gonna put these in 375 degrees. I'm guessing 10 to 15 minutes, but we'll watch them. All right, so I'm gonna make a ball. We're gonna put it in the breadcrumbs so that it's nice and coated, just like this. Then I think we're just gonna go ahead and put it in our air fryer basket. So here's my air fryer basket. Just gonna set it in, actually, you know what? I'm gonna set it on here so that I can preheat my air fryer. We're just gonna set it on these parchment for now. Also, you can freeze these balls just like this before baking them, or even after baking them, and then reheat them in the air fryer. I would think very easily. Again, I've never done this in the air fryer, so it could be a complete fail. They could just fall apart, but we'll see. We shall see. If you wanted a really good coating, you could put them in like an egg wash and then in this, but I think we're just gonna do a one coat. This is the same concept that you could do with any kind of like a cauliflower ball. You could do this with a day old rice and make like rice and cheese and egg balls. I forget what those are called. They have a name. You can make grit balls. So many ways you could do with this exact same method, right? We have enough for one more. I put way too much of my crumbs in here, but such is life. Okay, let's preheat our air fryer and then we will fry these up. Caprese salad. This is one of my favorite things to eat. Probably one of my very top favorite salads. I'm just chopping up a little bit of basil. What is that called? A chiffonade? I don't know. I'm just chopping it up with my knife. And I wish I had gotten double the basil because I love basil. But anyways, we're just going to add in cleaned cherry tomatoes. I'm either halving or the big ones I'm cutting into thirds. Just throwing that in there. Super simple process. Don't even know why I'm showing you how to make caprese salad other than it's just what we're having tonight. So basically it's just basil and tomatoes and mozzarella cheese. Often I'll buy the little small mozzarella balls, but I got buy one get one free larger. Fresh mozzarella is definitely what you want to go with though. And so we just toss all that together and then I just make a dressing, a very simple oil and balsamic vinegar dressing, salt and pepper, and you've got a amazing caprese salad to eat on the next few days. Y'all, I don't know why I don't make this every week. This is so delicious. I'm going to throw these broccoli tots in the air fryer. I pre-did it for about 5 minutes and we are going to air fry it at 400 for around 8 minutes or so. Y'all, I just remembered a crucial step to the broccoli tots. So I don't think they're going to turn out. We'll see. But when I made the cauliflower ones, I wrung it out really good. I put it in a towel, a clean hand towel, and I wrung out all the water, like wrung it out till it was dry. Did not do that with the rice broccoli. I'm sure some of y'all were yelling at me through my camera or through the TV like, Erica, you're not wringing it out. Man, I wish I could have heard you. So we shall see. They may just be a complete flop. Also, I made these as pretty big balls. When I did the cauliflower, I shaped them like tater tots. They looked exactly like tater tots and they were so good dipped in like marinara sauce or honey mustard or anything. My kids actually even like them. These I feel like would be the same, but I feel like I majorly failed. So Crossing our fingers. We'll see when they come out, but yeah. All right, y'all, this is 12 minutes. They look really, really good. Y'all, look at these. Oh my gosh, they look so good. Let's taste it. All right, let's try this, y'all. These are really flavorful. They're amazing with the marinara. And they hold together. Yay! All right, y'all, so here is dinner. The meatloaf looks amazing. And these guys, they came out, but they are kind of soggy city. Probably still gonna taste okay, dipped in marinara, but this air fryer way, much prettier presentation, but also just all around better, like way, way better. Do it in the air fryer. Okay, y'all, let's try the meatloaf. Oh my gosh. I haven't made just like a plain Italian meatloaf in way too long. Nothing plain about it. That is so good. I think people are gonna be happy tonight for dinner. Caroline didn't want to be on tape because she said her face wasn't looking good. She looked beautiful. What is on my eye? I don't know. She looked beautiful. But anyways, she really, really liked the broccoli tots. She said this is the only way that she would eat broccoli. She's not a broccoli fan. She's more a cauliflower fan. She ate a whole one with the marinara sauce and said it was really good. So she liked that. She liked the meatloaf, and the caprese salad's always a winner. So good dinner, easy dinner, went together pretty quickly. The hardest part of this is that it takes some time to cook. You could even make these meatloafs like mini size, and then everything would cook really quickly. I will see y'all tomorrow with another meal. Dinner tonight is going to be extremely easy. I have only about half of what I thought I did of these sausages though. I just cut up some sausages, y'all. We do have leftovers that some people can eat, or I can just have this as a lunch or something. I don't know why I only got 1 pound of sausage instead of 2. Anyways, throw your sausage on your sheet pan. Throw your sausage in your sheet pan. And then usually I do fresh Brussels sprouts that I'd cut in half, but we're gonna try these. It says roasted halved Brussels sprouts. So it says they're for roasting. It says to roast them at 450, so that's what we're gonna do, y'all. I am going to toss this with a little bit of balsamic, a little bit of avocado, and seasoning of choice, whatever you want. This is like a barbecue seasoning kind of. And we're just gonna toss this all together. This was literally about a minute and a half worth of prep, right? Now we just gotta get the oven to 450, and this is gonna go in for, let's see, how long does it say that this says? It's gonna go in for 20 minutes. That should be plenty of time, and this will make a wonderful, wonderful dinner. You can serve it with cauliflower rice, regular rice for your kids, or noodles, or whatever. So good. Sometimes I'll actually put in some feta cheese or some goat cheese in with this. Sometimes I even add some cranberries, some whole fresh cranberries. So many things you can do with the sausage and Brussels, but it's one of my favorites. So going in for 20 minutes. So I forgot about this. This was in for about 40 minutes. I definitely burned some of the Brussels sprouts a little bit. It actually still tasted good. It was salvageable, but yeah, I messed this up. Do as I say, not as I do. This is a 20-minute meal, not a 41. Tonight we are making one of my favorite meals because it is so simple, but it looks so fancy and everybody is impressed and loves it. So basically we're just going to make a chicken with a sun-dried tomato cream sauce with mushrooms. So easy, y'all. Just a few steps. It's all in one pan even. And just trust me, you are going to love it. Let's get started. We're going to clean up our mushrooms, clean up our chicken, and throw it all together. For this dish to go faster, I like to clean up my chicken and then cut it in half lengthwise because these breasts are just so large. You could leave them whole like this, but it's going to take longer to cook. So I generally just clean them all up and then cut them in half. Just having a sharp knife is super, super important for this step, but literally you're just going to go straight through the middle of it. If your knife is not sharp, you could totally hurt yourself doing this. It's actually kind of strange, but the sharper it is, the less likely you are to slip and cut yourself, where if it's not sharp, yeah. So this is what I like them to look like. Sometimes I'll even cut these pieces in half as well. Just the smaller your chicken is, the faster it is going to cook, right? All right, let's get going. Now we're just going to season these really well with Italian seasoning. I'm using the Sofrito one from Trader Joe's, salt and pepper. Then I'm also going to add a little bit of the liquid from, or the juice, the oil, it's an oil, from the sun-dried tomato marinade because it's just a whole nother layer of flavor. Then we're going to go fry these up and get them nice and golden brown. Dropping these into butter and olive oil that is nice and bubbly and hot, going with the marinated side down or the seasoned side down. And we are going to get these, once you put them in, you do not want to touch them, leave them be, and then leave them for about 5 to 6 minutes and then flip them and do the other side. We want to get a nice golden brown kind of crust on the outside of this chicken. You don't want to overcrowd your pan. I was thinking about overcrowding my pan because I wanted to just get it done, but it just won't work right if you overcrowd it. So season the other side and then flip it in 5 or 6 minutes. So speed forward, we're flipping it. It got a nice browning on one side. I would have liked to get a little bit more brown actually. That was my fault. I did probably overcrowd it just a little bit, but it worked out fine. Here I am overcrowding it because I gave up and I wanted it to be done, y'all. But seriously, I should have done 3 pieces and 3 pieces and it would have gotten a better crust, but it's still delicious and it's still gonna work out. So once you take the chicken out, I'm going to go in with my mushrooms. Often I will do onions at this step as well. I skipped the onions today because someone that I was making it for didn't particularly like onions, but you want to just get them all nice and caramelized, and then I add the sun-dried tomatoes and the garlic. And while I'm doing this whole process, I'm scraping up the bits at the bottom just a little bit. That is going to give us a ton of flavor. Now we are going in with, I'm trying to show you, but it's too close to the camera. I'm going in with some Chardonnay, probably about half a cup, and that is what's really going to pull off the bits off the bottom. So we're pulling up all of those goodness bits off the bottom. So delicious. Once we get all of that up, we're going to start building the rest of our sauce. Next up, we are going to throw in our block of cream cheese. If this is softened, it will go a little bit faster. I should have softened it first, but I'm just going to stir and stir and stir until this is completely broken down in our sauce, and then we'll build. Now we're adding chicken broth. I added about a cup of chicken broth to this. I'm going to stir that in and get it incorporated, get that cream cheese even more incorporated, and then we are going to hit it with a little bit of cream. I used half and half because that's what I had today, but you could totally use heavy cream, about a half a cup of that, and then you are going to just keep simmering. See how we've got these nice bubbles? You want to get, it's like a low medium or so, and then we're going to dump in Parmesan cheese. If you had a good quality Parmesan cheese on hand, I would use that. I just use the green can kind. That's what I had this week. It still turns out delicious, but adding that in, and we're just getting everything combined, stirring to combine. And I like to use this wood paddle to do it so that the whole time I'm pulling up any bits off the bottom, breaking up any cream cheese, and I just feel like it works better than a rubber spatula. So when you get the sauce to pretty much the consistency that you want, you're going to get your chicken breasts that you browned on both sides. Don't forget the juices, put them all back in, flip them around until they're covered, and then we are going to simmer this until the chicken has finished cooking through. I temped it and got it, I think it was 170 when I temped it and knew that it was done. So that is the plan for this, y'all. It is so delicious. It is that easy. Oh my goodness, y'all, this is so yummy. And the only thing that I would do differently is I would add a handful of spinach. If I had fresh spinach or even frozen spinach, that goes really well with this too. And then you can serve this over top of cauliflower rice, or you can serve it over regular rice for your family, or egg noodles. I don't thicken the sauce any more than it already thickens because I feel like it's plenty thick. But if you wanted to thicken it a little bit, you could add a little bit of xanthan gum at this point and stir, stir, stir. But I feel like this is plenty thick. I love a saucy sauce on top of my chicken. I'm serving this over rice for my kiddos and my husband, and I just ate it as is with the sauce. I did not add any more vegetables. So delicious. Y'all, I forgot to film an outro. It was a great food week though. I hope you make some of these. I hope you enjoy them. We thoroughly enjoyed at least 2 of the 3 meals I did overcook that sausage.